Hello, everybody, and welcome. I am Bricker Boom, and we are not going to have, at the moment, a weekly playthrough set this week. Instead, we had another D&D podcast, which I really enjoyed, except for this time, instead of DMs, it was players. So it was Atlas6570, my wife, Lady Bricker, Morticia Noir, and the Sharky Queen herself, Akio Ari. So, we talked just like we did with the DMs and had a lot of fun with it. So, I hope you enjoy the videos, and I will see you next time. This is one that I really like. Most memorable NPC and why. And I will go first. One of the most memorable ones for me, and it's probably because I was the voice of him. It was Calvin. He was the map maker, and he's this little tiny gnome who fell in love with the barbarian half orc of the party, and would periodically just pop up, and from the bushes you just hear him, "You're beautiful," and then he would just fade back into obscurity. What about you guys? What has been the favorite NPC of yours, or not of yours, but what has been the favorite NPC that you guys have possibly run into?
For me, the memory would be Torque.
Torque,
Torque the orc.
because he's been swindling us.
Yeah, well,
He's got a family feed. Leave him be.
I know, and he was holding a puppy and feeding it when we met him.
Aw.
Oh, so
cute.
he tricked you. Got it.
I'm
And
very
also,
distinctly also looking to see that Soap has not confirmed or denied whether or not he's going to kill Torque. So
I was
Listen,
about to
might be-
say,
fine.
I might be driving down to Texas soon.
don't you dare threaten our Torque, okay?
Oh, murder. What about you, Lady B? Who's been the most memorable NPC that you've run into?
The first one came to mind was Cal, the map maker from our first campaign. He was so in love with our barbarian. It was fucking hilarious. And the fact that you brought him back into this new campaign that we're playing in as an old man it's
He is
great.
old and decrepit, but my god, his love has not went out for this woman. What about you, Akio? Is there any specific NPC that you really enjoyed or hated?
Yeah. Oh, well, I haven't really hated any of them, but
Give
I've
it
definitely
time.
been a little sus of some. But my favorite one it was actually once again in the very last campaign. We went underground into a tomb because we needed to find a poem that was etched on someone's coffin. So as we're making our way down there, there was a sign outside that said it was protected by, can't remember the exact verbiage, but paranormal, basically, like
Spoopy.
essentially ghosts are guarding the cemetery. And we came across one, and he was a little spooky, and I was surprised that we convinced him to let us pass, but he just randomly, all of a sudden, out of nowhere, just turns into a golden dragon, and me, first time playing D&D, I'm like, oh, what the hell do we do now? But luckily,
You're like,
he
I'm in
ended
a
up being,
dungeon and there's a dragon?
I know, right? Like, who would have thought? So I got real excited, but he was very kind and very wise, and not really one that we needed to fight. I even gave him, what was it? From the very first episode, I got a glass queen chess piece, and the guy told me that it would, people would respect me as I walked down the street as I held it. So I offered that to him as a gift, and he seemed happy, and he gave me like this golden watch thingy in return, and it was amazing. And I'm like,
cool.
oh, I'm friends with a dragon. So I was real happy about that.
I hope you get to continue, at the very least, playing with that character. I know you said the campaign's ended, but maybe some like a time skip or something, because that sounds really cool.
Yeah, she's definitely gonna hop back in.
Good. Let's see, Run Ifro. Oh, who's the best mini painter? Anybody on TikTok that isn't Run Ifro. How do you handle?
Got him.
Yeah. How do you, as players, handle in-character relationships, and how do you keep player and characters separate? So I'll say the character-player thing can be anywhere, and then how do you handle relationships with the NPCs?
I don't think I've ever romanced an NPC.
I think for me, I've only romanced one NPC, personally. I mean, I don't really care. I was in theater, and honestly, my DM's Ronifero. I can flirt with him all day. I don't need any type of D&D veil to be able to have to do that. I can do that just on command. But as for keeping player characters separate, it's honestly, it's not too difficult for me. If there's parts that I'm not present for, I just try to space out a little bit. This way I don't accidentally metagame, because I want it to, with my character, I want it to be genuine. What about you guys?
Experienced that. Most of my interactions have just been with the people I was playing with, but for the most part, NPCs. Just my character, she was much more of an observer and would hop in when needed. So
Makes sense. And I know, Alice, you don't have any experience with it. What about you, Lady B? Because you technically have been flirting with an NPC, or at least your character has. Or trying
Yeah.
to flirt.
Yeah, in Ronifero's campaign, it's kind of hard flirting with the DM that you're not married to, for one thing.
I find
So
it very easy to flirt with him. I'm married.
How you doing?
well, so in that one, Amma, she's weird. Anyway, I don't know how to explain her. It's hard for her to make friends. It's hard for her to trust people. So this is basically like her first crush, and just the talking is awkward. Partially because the NPC is mute, so he has to like play around that. It kind of reminds me of Sheldon and Amy from Big Bang Theory. As far who is Sheldon and who is Amy, we don't know.
Penny? 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 Alright. This one's kind of fun. I could take a little bit of thinking about, but what has been the choice that you have regretted as a character, or what has been your favorite decision? I think my regret as a character was essentially, for me, it was a spell that I took as a warlock. I didn't read it properly, and it was Crown of Madness. I thought that it was a lot better than it actually was, and I thought that I could still fight with Crown of Madness happening, but no, you actually have to spend your entire turn focusing on that spell. Thankfully, the DM was cool enough to let me switch it, but that's definitely a regret that I have, because there were so many other useful spells that I could have taken and been able to use at so many different occasions, but I didn't because I kept a hold of that damn spell. Best decision I've made? Honestly, and this is gonna sound hella cheesy, but best decision I've made for D&D was honestly just getting back into it. I hadn't played since I was a teenager, and it's been incredible getting back into it again. I've been enjoying DMing, I've been enjoying playing, so that, as a whole, that's been my favorite decision so far. What about you, Baby Ankles? I know you don't have the biggest list, but anything you regret aside from buying a dog?
Best moment was buying a dog. Worst moment was buying a dog.
What about you, Lady B?
I don't know. I really don't know. Like I said, I think a lot of the decisions that I make are dumb.
Well, see, I feel like your worst decision would have been pulling from the deck of many things and getting transported.
Well, yeah, that too. That was super dumb. But it did make for a fun couple of sessions.
That's true, because you guys got to go to the plane of hysteria, and it was great. What about
Exactly.
you? Alright. What about you, Akio? Anything that you regret or are super happy that you may have done?
no regrets,
No
I would have to
regrets?
say. It was all worth it. I can't really specifically think like of a specific in-game moment, but kind of piggybacking off of what you said, I'm just glad that I started it, that I took the leap to actually join a campaign and get into this amazing world that it is. So
I
that's
honestly, I thought you were gonna say the tackling thing again.
I mean, that was fun. I'm not gonna deny. Very fun.
Good. What about you, Tishy? Anything you regret for your characters? Anything you're super happy about that you made a choice for?
I regret buying a dog.
Yes, seeing as that dog has hurt our souls and Atlas's wallet.
I didn't
You
tell
know he
him to buy
bit
it
me
back.
too, right? You know
Yeah.
he bit me too.
No, I know, but the thing is, I'm focused on me. This is a me moment, not you.
Listen, I didn't tell him
Listen,
to buy
you
the
broke
dog
bitch.
back. I said goodbye, I cried, I was ready, and then he bought the damn dog back.
It was a moving performance.
I told you not to do it. So I told you it'd be all right. So you just didn't listen. Also, I like to retract my answer and say, speaking up and asking for the bird after we beat the not dragon, but the giant was pretty awesome too.
That was just because for so many months, the anti-bird movement, birds aren't real, has been in my Discord. It made it into Minecraft.
It's still going on, sir. I'm pretty sure I asked everybody to register to that website today, so
You're right.
It was
Just saying.
within the past few days. Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. My bad.
I think the best decision was yeeting a tiefling through a door.
I remember that moment not because I was there, but because I literally woke up to a text from you the next day saying, I yeeted a paladin through the, or a tiefling through the door. Hey, thank you so much for the sub, Konip. As always, we'll go ahead and eat a quick little sour bean here.
It's bean time.
And also, hello, Dardoon. How you doing today? Woo, that's bitter. I don't like it. Okay. Good lord. I'm drooling. What has been your favorite item to use?
Can I answer first?
Yeah.
Displacer cloak.
Oh my god, fuck that item! I absolutely hate that item. So for those that are watching that don't know, the Displacer Cloak is something that you have to attune to, but all attacks against you are at disadvantage, and if you hit, then the rest of the attacks for that turn are regular, but then the next turn, it fucking resets again. I hate that item, and if I could never introduce it again, would be great. Anyway.
And we had 2 people in the party wearing it.
Yeah, because I make bad decisions.
No, it was a good decision.
No, I'm never doing it again. Atlas, what's your favorite item to use? I know you haven't had much yet, but...
I think you know the answer to that.
Your chocobo?
At this point.
Your beard?
No. Okay, 1, I was lied to. That is definitely does not look like a chocobo. 2, no, it's the bag of holding.
Oh.
It's been, especially considering the fact that that was our 3rd session, and I completely had forgot that I had it the first 2 sessions.
Yeah, that would do it.
So, yes, the bag of holding.
All right.
And I'm sorry I tried to eat you, Lady Burger.
I mean, the thing that you could say is, but did you die? What about you,
It's
Ari?
all good.
Anything, any particular item that you love?
Didn't get any fancy items, so
What?
yeah. I mean, like, I'm not mad about it just because I mean I didn't know they existed, but but yeah. So I don't have a favorite.
Huh. So, what level did you guys end at then?
What level did we end at? 5, I think.
Oh, that makes sense. See, our campaign that I ran a few years back ended up starting at level 5 and going all the way to 20. So that
Oh,
makes sense. Yeah, if you're ending at level 5, you probably wouldn't have too many.
All right, that tracks then.
Yeah. What about you, Tishy? What has been your favorite item that you've used or come across?
Fanciest has been my
Favorite, yeah.
+1 battle axe.
That is such a barbarian response, and I love it.
I mean, that's the only thing I've really gotten that's been like along the lines of Displacer Cloak. So
This is a fun one because I know that we've all done it. What is your favorite pointless item that you've kept on your person during a campaign? I think for me, the DM described it as a very smooth and shiny rock, and I don't know why. I kept that with me throughout the course of the entire campaign. We didn't finish it, but I had that for probably about 10 different sessions before it finally ended. What about you, Lady B? Have you ever kept anything pointless and dumb?
No.
Oh, I also kept petrified rat statues. That was fun.
I hear rats.
Ah, God. My poor character. What about you, Tishy? Have you kept anything pointless that you didn't need to?
pointless, yeah. So my barbarian keeps a tankard on her. It's a purple heart wood tankard that's kind of faded and it's got gold trim on it. It was her first trophy she ever won.
Oh, that's cute.
So she keeps it on her.
Very cute. How about you, Ari? Anything that you kept around for potentially no reason at all?
That glass chess piece, I forgot that I had it until the last session, and I'm glad I mean, it ended up being useful, I guess, because I received a gift in return. Don't know what it does, if it does anything other than tell time, but I got a fancy gift out of it, so hey, that works for me.
That's cool. Yeah, I remember that I tried to use the rock that I had. Somebody was asking for an astronomical amount of gold for something, and I'm like, but what if I gave you a really shiny rock? Spoiler alert, they did not want the rock. Hard to believe, I know. Alright. Well, as of right now, looks like that is about it for the chat questions. As always, this will end up going up on Le YouTube. Is there anything that you guys want to say or talk about before we call it quits for the night?
I do.
What you got?
Sopo, I see you commenting. Don't you dare kill Torque or that dog.
If you kill Torque, Sopo, I know your DM, I will give you inspiration.
How dare?
Listen.
It didn't take long for there to be dissension among our ranks. There's going to be somebody yeeted off of a mountain here soon, and it is
Oh,
not
no.
Torque.
It's gonna be May.
No. Guess it's time to jump up after you.
No, not the
no.
DDT.
Tishy, no.
Oh.
Oh, bring out Zada. It's okay.
Oh, no. All right. Well, guys, thank you so much for hanging out here and talking for a little bit. We'll probably try to do some more of these as time goes on, but I really appreciate you guys. I know
This was awesome.
Yeah,
was fun.
I'm glad that you guys enjoyed
Yeah, I had
it.
fun.
Good.
Mhm.
And make sure, if you haven't yet, follow me on www.twitch.tv/brickerboom. Love you guys. It's gonna be May.